Travelers bring an average of 4 devices powered by lithium-ion batteries when they fly, but there's been a dramatic spike in fires triggered by these batteries on board flights.
As Spotlight on America's Chris Daniels reports, experts warn more needs to be done to avoid a disaster.
It was probably the scariest experience of my life.
Joseph Fleck still has the image seared in his mind.
I hear a loud yell, "Hey, there's a fire." I looked up immediately and quickly saw the cabin filling with smoke.
His Spirit Airlines flight from Dallas to Orlando had to make an emergency landing. 10 people were hospitalized, all because of a lithium-ion battery. It's a story increasing in frequency. A laptop battery prompted another fire at San Francisco International Airport last summer, forcing evacuations. And in South Korea,
that plane was within 10 minutes of taking off.
a fire destroyed this plane.
If that fire had occurred 15 minutes later, it could have easily resulted in the crash of that airplane.
A battery bank also stored in an overhead bin to blame. In fact, fires involving lithium-ion batteries on planes have risen 388% since 2015, now happening nearly twice a week on average, according to federal data.
Any fire at 30,000 feet is a problem.
David Roth is the Senior Director of Technologies and Systems for UL Standards and Engagement, a leading company that tests and certifies batteries for safety. Are there different dynamics with airplanes that's leading to these explosions or fires?
It typically ends up being damage or abuse to the battery. In some cases, substandard or even counterfeit batteries, but by and large, it's because of abused or damaged batteries.
Most fires on planes involve the battery or battery packs themselves, followed by e-cigarettes or vaping devices.
In some cases, the battery can explode.
It also happen with cell phones and laptops of all brands that can overheat and go into something called thermal runaway.
Thermal runaway is essentially a condition where the battery starts to release energy in an uncontrolled way. And in most extreme cases, it can result in smoke, fire, and even explosion.
Like in this test video demonstrating how thousands of batteries stored in one place can ignite a catastrophic explosion and fire. There's question about how airlines deal with battery emergencies on board. A recent UL survey found self-reported gaps in flight crews' understanding of the events and how to handle them, as well as varying procedures when it comes to safety equipment. Spotlight on America contacted all the major U.S. airlines, and only Alaska responded to suggest flight crews are trained and carry the containment equipment.
Maybe 5 seconds where I said, wow, this is it. This is how it ends, right? It's terrifying.
Fleck says the memory is still fresh, and he's changed his flight patterns as a result. This spring, the TSA issued a new rule requiring that all power banks, cell phone charging cases, and spare laptop batteries must be placed in carry-on baggage to contain any fire or threat on board a plane. A good rule of thumb, our expert tells us, if you are carrying one of these devices, make sure it's in arm's reach. That's the story for now. For Spotlight on America, I'm Chris Daniels.